Have you ever looked at your phone, seen hundreds of contacts, and still wondered who you could call if life fell apart? We're more connected than any generations before us. We can message someone across the world in seconds. We can see what our old classmates ate for lunch. We can react to someone's vacation photos without ever speaking to them. Yet somehow, millions of people quietly admit they don't have a single close friend they could truly lean on. So, what happened? Why is making real friends harder than it's ever been? Maybe the problem isn't that people have changed. Maybe it's that the world around us has. Welcome to Mindful Madness, where we slow down, make sense of modern life, and remember that even in the chaos, there's room to breathe. I'm She. I'm really glad you're here. I've been thinking about friendship lately. Not the kind measured by followers or likes, the kind where someone knows your silence, the kind where you don't have to perform, the kind where showing up in sweatpants feels just as comfortable as showing up dressed for a dinner. Somewhere along the way, those friendships became rare. When we were children, making friends was almost effortless. You sat next to someone in class, you played the same game, you laughed at the same joke, and somehow you became inseparable. No strategy, no networking, no carefully crafted personality, just shared moments. As adults, everything changes. Our calendars fill up, our priorities shift, people move away, careers demand more, families grow. Life becomes something we're constantly trying to manage instead of experience. And friendship slowly becomes something we hope will happen instead of something we intentionally build. But I don't think busyness is the biggest problem. I think distraction is. Every quiet moment gets filled. Waiting in line, we scroll. Eating lunch alone, we scroll. Riding the elevator, we scroll. Instead of looking around, we look down. We've become surrounded by people without truly seeing them. Maybe that's why loneliness feels different today. It isn't always about being physically alone. Sometimes it's sitting in a crowded room, feeling completely invincible. Social media makes this even more confusing. We see birthdays, vacations, celebrations, group photos. Everyone appears surrounded by friends. Everyone seems included. Everyone looks connected until we close the app. And we realize we've spent another evening without having a meaningful conversation. Connection isn't measured by how many people know your name, it's measured by how many people know your heart. Real friendship asks for something our culture doesn't encourage anymore: time, patience, consistency, awkward first conversations, following up, checking in, being willing to inconvenience ourselves for another person. Friendship isn't building during extraordinary moments. It's built during ordinary ones. The coffee after work, the unexpected phone call, the walk without checking your phone, the conversation that lasts longer than planned. We often wait for friendships to happen naturally, but maybe adulthood asks something different. Maybe it's asks us to become the person willing to make the first invitation, first message, first apology, first effort, because chances are someone else is sitting at home wondering why nobody reaches out. While you're wondering exactly the same thing, there's something beautiful about realizing that everyone is carrying invincible loneliness. Not because it makes loneliness less painful, but because it reminds us we're not as alone as we think. Sometimes one simple message, "Hey, I was thinking about you," can mean more than we realize. Before we continue, take one slow breath. Relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw, Notice where you're sitting. Notice the sounds around you. For just a few seconds, you don't have to fix anything. You only have to be here. Tonight, instead of wondering who hasn't reached out to you, think of one person you genuinely miss. Not because you need something, not because you're obliged, simply because their presence made life a little lighter. Send them a message. It doesn't have to be profound. It could simply say, I thought about you today. Hope you're doing well. You might be surprised how often meaningful friendships begin again with something that small. Maybe making friends isn't harder because people have become colder. Maybe we're all just waiting for someone else to take the first step. Life probably won't become less busy today or even tomorrow. Notifications won't stop, schedules won't suddenly clear, but maybe you can create one meaningful conversations in the middle of all that noise. Sometimes that's enough to remind both people that they're not walking through life alone. Before we finish, let's take one mindful minute together. Close your eyes if you can, take a slow breath in, and slowly let it go. Now ask yourself, who has quietly made your life better that you haven't thanked lately? Hold that person in your mind, and if you can, tell them. Because friendships rarely end from a lack of love, they fade from a lack of moments. Thank you for spending these moments with me. If today's conversation helped you slow down, even for a little while, share it with someone who might need to hear it today. And if you're looking for a quiet corner of the internet where we make sense of modern life together, I'd love to have you here. I'd also love to hear from you. What do you think makes genuine friendship so difficult today? Share your thoughts in the comments. You never know who might find comfort in your perspective. Until next time, be gentle with yourself, stay curious, and remember, take care of your mind. The world asks enough of it already.